Hello, my name is Alyssa Frank Martin. Oh, put it down a little bit.
How's that?
I'd like to share with you my story of living with cancer. And as part of this, as I'm still living with cancer, I'm going to share with you a few entries of my diary, of my journal, which is called With Brave Wings She Flies. So here I go. I'm in Australia. It's December 27th, 2020, and I discover a symptom that doesn't feel right. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, I'm not going to think about this. I didn't want to talk to Andrew, my husband. I didn't want to talk to anyone about it. I didn't want to worry my Andrew or myself. I went to a place of denial and compartmentalizing, and that's a very familiar place for me. Later, when I got back in early January, I went to the doctor, and I could see that the doctor was concerned. Her affect and her tone of voice indicated her concerns. So we went into a place of management. She and I, where she couldn't tell me what she was thinking, and I couldn't freak out. The following few days, I was sitting and waiting, and I received a call on a Sunday. I don't even remember what time of day it was. I just remembered that it happened, and I was given the news that I had cancer. And what I noticed as I was dealing with cancer, I was surrounded by love and support by this community, by my family, by my friends, and I felt loved. Later, it was February, I was called by the nurse, and I was told more specifically about what I needed to do, and that was to get chemo. And she called me in the morning and gave me that news, and I said to myself, how is that helpful to know on a Friday? I go in and I do my chemo treatments. Actually, excuse me, I didn't go to my chemo treatments. In 2020, I had surgery, and I was told I was cancer-free, and I didn't have cancer, and everything was great. And my first thought was, as I was recovering from surgery, well, can I go back to work now? I say that because all I was concerned about wasn't about my health. It was about going back to work. I can remember much later thinking about this entry and realizing my mother would have given me one of those looks, like, are you kidding me? But I didn't get it. So again, I was cancer-free, all was well, until exactly a year later, in January 2021, I had a CT scan, and I was told the cancer had returned. And I said to myself, now what? Now what am I going to do? So I decided I don't think focusing on work is what I needed to be doing. I entered the phase of chemotherapy. That's when I started chemotherapy. And I decided to switch my priorities. And I decided to put work not first, as it always had been, but second or third. As I got into the chemotherapy and I'm dealing with, re-looking at my health and changing my eating and changing everything in my life, I found out that it wasn't working, the chemotherapy. And I'm left to wonder, now what? I did everything I was supposed to do. I changed my diet. I ate better. I didn't put work as a priority. I even exercised. And then I started to realize, I think it's time to pray. And that's where this launched me to where I am here, standing here today. I switched not only to praying, I decided I wasn't going to focus on the future. I was going to focus on the present. I decided I was going to choose life. And I wasn't going to choose life for when the cancer goes away. I was going to choose life for right now, living every single day, enjoying being present, or as best as I can be, because of course those worry thoughts do come back. And through prayer, through daily gratitude, and I have my husband that I express extreme gratitude for, right in the back, Andrew, and this community, and my friends. I'm so grateful. I've had so much support. I am so lucky. People offering all sorts of things. So I just wanted to share just a few Jewish gems of wisdom as I was praying and thinking about this. If I'm not for myself, who is for me? If only for myself, what am I? And if not now, then when? It's Rabbi Hillel. And I also want to share from Reb Zalman the power of prayer. Prayer is the energy feedback God gets from us. Prayer completes the circuit of God's energy to the entire system, for we can contribute through prayer. So when we're praying, it's not only for me, it's for all of us. It was this July I decided, well, generic prayer sounds pretty good. Why don't I pray for my cancer tumors to shrink? And why don't I get some help? So I mentioned it to a couple of people. Rabbi Ruthie was one, and she took off with that idea, and co-created with the help of many people in this community, a prayer, a daily prayer that was started July and ended in July 1st and ended July 31st. And I was only thinking it was just going to be on my birthday, July 28th, when I turned 60. But I was nudged into doing this, and I'll tell you what happened. It was so profound, but it wasn't just profound for me. When I was hearing from the congregants who volunteered, and I will share some of the prayers, they said it impacted them as well. And I went back to Reb Zalman, and I'm realizing, well, prayer isn't just for one, it's for all of us. So I did want to share one of the prayers that was given to me. I took this, and I'm very blessed by this. Today is the day that I pray for Elise's treatment for cancer. This disease has invaded her body and her family's lives. God of compassion, grant her a path to healing. See her through the days ahead with dignity. Strengthen her resolve to live fully and to love deeply. Grant healing power to her treatments. Reduce the side effects and eliminate any complications from her procedures. Grant her a full and complete recovery from this disease. Grant her physicians insight and perseverance. I particularly like that one. And her family's support and love. Grant scientists and researchers tools and understanding to develop new treatments for her cancer speedily. And so that was, as I said, one of the choices of prayers from July 1st to 31st. When I went in for my July birthday chemotherapy treatment, I always get blood work, and I get the results of the CT scan. And that day, I got a birthday gift. My tumors are shrinking. Not only were they shrinking July 28th, a month or two later, I always get CT scans because I'm part of the UC Health clinical trials. They're continuing to shrink. So my gratitude goes for everyone, and thank you for letting me share my story.